What's up, y'all? Back again with another video. Bad News Brown. Now, this video is going to be part two of the video I previously did, where it's the breakdown of the Bay Area city streets. And if you haven't seen that video, I recommend you see that video first before you watch this one. Well, in that video, I touched on a little bit about the Bay Area history and answered a few questions regarding or politics. I'll put it like that. But again, go watch that video first. But as I was saying, this is the San Francisco Bay Area, and Frisco is the Manhattan of the Bay Area. And one of the funny things, well, hold on, I'll mention that. Let me just get this out, something else out real quick. Because in that previous video, I showed a shot, and I show it again, where you can see Alcatraz. And one of the interesting things, now that shot was shot from Berkeley, and there's a street in Berkeley called Alcatraz, and a lot of people don't know it's in South Berkeley. But at the top of Alcatraz, like on Telegraph, yeah, anything Telegraph on back at the top, you can look straight down on a clear day and see Alcatraz, to where it's so clear, it's a straight shot to where you can shoot a missile and hit the island. And that's something interesting. A lot of people don't even know about that. So I figure I'll point that out. And that's one of the many things that you can see in the Bay Area that a lot of us tend to take for granted. And another thing I mentioned was I also broke down that the reason why Frisco got all the money in the international city, well, the number one reason is due to the gold. And there was a mass migration or exodus to the Bay Area to look for gold, and a lot of people settled here. But in doing that, they killed off a lot of the indigenous people here, and that shot was also, it's kind of like the Berkeley Emeryville border. Now, Emeryville is a small city in the Bay Area. It's basically North Oakland, but there's a street or a district called Shell Mound, and basically Emeryville was a Indian burial ground, and for the longest they didn't build nothing on Emeryville. So I remember, like, a lot of people don't know where all that Chick-fil-A and all that yeah, Chick-fil-A, the Five Guys, Target, Home Depot. I remember back in the day, they used to be dirt road for the longest. All up over there, the IKEA, all that Bay Street, that was nothing. And for the longest, they wasn't built there because a lot of people thought it was environmental, but the main reason because all on up, was ancient Indian burial ground. A lot of people don't know that, so I want to point that out too. And also, in the first video, I did a little Q&A regarding some city, interesting questions that not go on, that I've happened to hear, I've been asked over the years. I'm going to call it kind of like some hood filibusters, as I'm going to put it. An example for one is the 456 in Southern California got any association with the 456 out here in Oakland? And you may can guess the answer is no. And I believe the 456 down in Southern California, that may be a Piru hood or Blood hood or Blood set or whatnot in Pomona, I believe. But no, it has no association. In Oakland, 456 is North Oakland, the 40s, 50s, and the 60s, the North Pole Ice City. So no relation, no association. So it wouldn't surprise you if you see somebody from Oakland or up this way with 456 and somebody from down that way with a 456 tattoo. So I'm gonna call it hood filibusters, as I said. Now, another one is the low bottoms in Southern California have any relation to the lower bottoms out here in West Oakland? The answer again is no. And not to my knowledge, man. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know. But it's safe to say no. And again, like I said, I believe down there in LA they call it the low bottoms. Out here it's the lower bottoms due to the location that neighborhood is in the corner of West Oakland. Kind of like as soon as when you come from Frisco, it's like right there in the corner. And again, I did a previous video on that neighborhood because that's pretty much the oldest black community in Oakland. That's one of the areas where the majority of black people settled when they first came to the city of Oakland. So again, another hood filibuster. Oh yeah, and before I continue, let me give a shout out to somebody in the comments. Again, like I said, this video is I'm putting stuff that I didn't add in the first video, obviously, and things that I wasn't even aware of. And shout out to that person in the comment section in the first video. I never knew that before Sacramento was going to be the capital, it was about to be Vallejo. Like it became real close to being Vallejo. And I guess at the last minute they switched it to Sacramento. I'm not sure. But that's something I never knew. Y'all let me know if y'all knew that in the comments, whether you from Vallejo or the Bay or anywhere else. That's real interesting. And I wonder how things would be had Vallejo would have ended up being the capital of California. You know, that's something to think about. Y'all let me know. Now, the next thing, like I said in the first video, the Bay Area is a metropolitan like LA and Chicago. So in a lot of ways you can kind of compare and contrast the cities of the Bay Area throughout the various cities and districts to other metropolitan areas. And again, like I said, Frisco is like the Manhattan of the Bay Area, and Oakland is like the Brooklyn in a lot of ways. And it's funny because just right now in it's like the Funktown area, the lower end Funktown area, the East Oakland, kind of by the water, by Alameda and all that. They're building some condos and basically a whole little neighborhood right there. And you know what they're calling it? Brooklyn Basin. So that kind of just goes to show, for obvious reasons, why I say that. You know what I'm saying? Frisco, that's where all the money is at. That's the international city. You know, you can go to some place if you on a certain flight overseas and somebody asks you where you from and you say Oakland, they may not really know. Now, depending, you know, you might have to say, oh, it's by San Francisco. Then they be like, oh, okay, they heard of Frisco, but they may not have heard of Oakland. I'm talking about on international flights when you with people from all over. You understand? But that's something, you know, again. Now, another little question. Well, is Santa Rosa considered the Bay Area? And y'all, I'm not sure. I kind of want to say it's not, but if it is, it would be in the far North Bay Area. You know, and shout out to Ray Love. But and y'all let me know in the comments. Do y'all think is Santa Rosa considered part of the Bay Area? But again, like I said, it will be in the far North Bay if it is. And I'm not even sure what county Santa Rosa in. See, that may be the answer right there. So, and again, y'all, this is Bad News Brown. I'm breaking this shit down. And like I said, part 2 of the San Francisco Bay Area and Frisco being the money, the financial international capital of the area. That's why it's called the San Francisco Bay Area as opposed to the Bay Area. And again, Oakland is the Brooklyn, if we're going to consider it New York. And if it was Los Angeles, it probably would be South Central. Somewhere along that, basically the South Central area. And all the other cities you can liken it to, and all the other boroughs or other cities, again, like I said, in any other metropolitan. So we got a lot of cities out here that get down from, again, the Berkeleys, the EPAs, the Haywards, the Vallejos, the Marine cities, of other cities that I ain't named. Shout out if I forgot your city. But again, man, real quick, y'all go ahead and subscribe. Bad News Brown, breaking it down one time. Peace.